Skinny guys, I know you've got questions about your workout plan. Primarily, what is going to specifically work for you? Which exercises should you focus on? What should be your rep scheme? How much weight? And also, what type of a plan should you follow? I'm going to give you a hint. It's going to be totally different for you than all the other non-skinny guys. Let me show you. So as I mentioned, the training plan for skinny guys versus pretty much everybody else is going to be radically different. And if you still train the same way that most of all of your friends trained or the way that other guys train, you're going to be really killing your gains. There's going to be a difference in things such as training frequency, training volume, exercise selection, cardio, and much more. The skinny guy's main goal is obviously going to be to break down the muscle tissue so your body can rebuild it bigger and stronger, but doing so without burning too many calories and simply withering away. So we're going to first start off with what to remove from your training. And to start, there's going to be two things. Number one, cardio. Number two, abdominal training. So why are we going to be removing the cardio? Well, because cardio workouts really exhaust a significant amount of calories. And for you skinny guys, eating the proper amount of calories every day is already tough as it is. So by adding in a few different cardio sessions every single week, you're really going to be making a mountain out of a molehill. And why are we removing the abdominal training? Well, again, this doesn't support your main goal. Your main goal here is to get big. So by training your already shredded midsection, you're going to be spending unnecessary time in the gym and as well burning some more of those very precious calories you guys desperately need. And the final thing we're going to be removing here is a high volume of training. This is going to come down to both the frequency and the number of times you actually go into the gym during the week, and as well the amount of time that you spend doing each one of these workouts. So throw away the 5 to 6 workouts per week and training for an hour to about an hour and a half. We're now going to conduct that down into about 3 to 4 workouts per week for roughly about 45 minutes. And just for reference, I personally only train 45 minutes per workout in the gym, and I've been training that way for years. So the two different training structures that you can follow is the first one's a 3-day workout per week. You're going to be training Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The second one, the 4-day per week, you'll be training Monday and Tuesday as well as Thursday and Friday. And with each one of these training structures, you're going to be taking advantage of the biggest thing that most skinny guys miss, which is actually recovery. Because remember this, you don't actually build muscle mass in the gym. In the gym, you're just simply breaking down the muscle tissue. You actually build muscle mass while you're resting and recovering. So by placing 2 heavy chest workouts back to back, you're really hindering the results that you were going to get from the first chest workout and essentially wasting your time with the second chest workouts if they're paired back to back. Now, does this mean that you can't train a muscle group 2 times in a week? No, you absolutely can, but just ensure you're giving each one of those muscle groups at least 48 hours worth of rest in order to repair and regrow. Now, in regards to protein, I know you guys are always asking me about this. It's important that you're getting yourself 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And most guys say they have a tough time doing that with just their diet. That's why I've got this solution. EHPLabs Blessed Protein Powder. Right now they've got a sale, BOGO50, meaning buy one, get the other one 50% off. And if you use code BARBARIAN, you'll get yourself an extra little discount. I think there's free shipping going on right now too. There's a link in the description. Now these 2 flavors here are insane. This is the peanut butter cups flavor. Tastes exactly as you can imagine it, just like Reese's. And this one is a banana bread flavor, which is incredible as well. Now this is blessed, so they're vegan products. So if you have an intolerance or an allergy to dairy or lactose, which is in most protein supplements, this right here will be your solution as well. 0 bloating. Again, link in the description, BOGO50, buy one, get the other one 50% off. Use code BARBARIAN for an extra discount, and if I can remember correctly, free shipping. Link in the description. Let's get in the rest of the content. Now, when it comes to your training and muscle focus, this is going to be vital for you guys, because if, for example, we've got guy number 1 here, he's just focusing on for 4 weeks training his biceps, his abs, and his traps. And then we've got guy number 2 over here, and he's focusing on training, his chest, his back, and his legs. Both guys are training for 4 weeks. At the end of that 4-week period, the guy that's focusing on his chest, I think, and his back and his legs is going to put on a significantly greater amount of muscle mass versus the guy that was just training his abs, his biceps, and his traps. And the reason for this is because guy number 2 over here was focusing on training much larger muscle groups. So again, if we're going to follow the same example, and let's say guy number 1 here with his biceps, let's say a bicep represents 1 unit of size. Now this guy over here, guy number 2, is going to be focusing on, let's just say specifically his back. Now the back comparatively is going to represent about 2 to 3 units of size. Well, the guy that was focusing on training just his biceps is going to represent a total mass increase of 0.05 of our 1 unit of mass example. Meanwhile, the guy that was focusing on his back is going to yield a 0.1 to a 0.15 unit of mass increase, nearly double or triple the amount of overall muscle mass gained on the body by intelligently training the bigger muscle group. This is why it's so important to strategize your training and put a big focus and a big emphasis on training those bigger muscle groups, because they'll get you so much more bang for your buck. So I recommend that you both spend the greatest amount of time focusing on those bigger muscle groups, and as well, put them near the beginning of the workout when you have the most amount of energy to absolutely obliterate them. And when it comes to exercise selection, you're going to want to focus on the big compound movements like a bench press, a deadlift, an overhead press, or a squat, because not only will these isolate or focus on the big muscle groups that we're trying to hit, but they're also going to hit a myriad of the supporting muscle groups that are simultaneously being used through each one of those movements. This will result in you building a lot more muscle mass, and as well, each one of these exercises is great for tracking your max effort lifts, so that every couple of weeks you can return to that exercise, try to lift a little bit more to stimulate hypertrophy by chasing progressive overload. Now, in terms of repetitions and weights that you should select as a skinny guy, I'm going to say just avoid anything that's above 15 repetitions with that lighter weight. Again, that's going to be counterproductive to our goals, as we're going to be burning a lot of calories performing those exercises. So does that mean you should just perform 1, 3, and 5 rep sets? Yes and no. For you skinny guys, I will say yes, use those sets of 1 reps, 3 reps, and 5 reps. These are going to be utilizing heavier weight, but in addition, sets of 8 repetitions and 10 repetitions to stimulate hypertrophy, aka muscular growth. And again, falling in line with everything I've mentioned previously, if you're going to be doing those big compound movements, the big compound exercises, deadlift, bench press, etc., put those at the beginning of your workouts and focus on getting repetition ranges of 1 rep maxes, 3 rep maxes, or 5 rep maxes. And again, chase that progressive overload. Every couple of weeks when you return to that exercise, try and add about 2.5 to 5 pounds to demand more out of your muscles than you did the previous couple of weeks. And the final point I want to cover here, probably one of the most important aspects, is your training intensity. Most guys, whether they're skinny, whether they're a bit bigger, they'll leave about 4 to 5 reps in the tank on every single set. In order to maximize that muscle growth, you're going to want to focus on trying to train closer to that point of failure. This will really be able to help us to achieve that progressive overload every couple of weeks in our big exercises. This will ensure that we're causing as many of those micro muscle tears that we can in the workouts, so that our body is then going to repair and regrow that muscle tissue in recovery. And again, to re-emphasize, intensity is going to be one of the most important aspects in your training plan. You could have the best workout plan in the world. You could have Arnold Schwarzenegger's exact workout program that he was using to build the best physique arguably ever, but if your training intensity is on the low end, you're still not going to be able to grow very much muscle at all. If you enjoyed this video and now want to learn about the diet aspect for you skinny guys, there's a video right here. Honestly, the diet aspect is just as important, if not a little bit more important than your training. Again, the video is right here.